Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. It's Kim Watson speaking on Tuesday, the 29th of March. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday we found another bounce off this band. It's been sort of sitting on this daily band for 3 days now. Fourth day, had a bit of a bounce up to the upper band, and it's daily 8 moving average, which is rolling over quite nicely, and we're seeing a bit of selling pressure coming through here. Already run through its weekly pivot, and well, at the moment it'll come back and call it daily as well. Trend wise, up until yesterday's price action was certainly heading south, but we've now put in this sort of high low and this peaky sort of day on very light volume, so it's a bit of a guess to where we're going to be going at the moment. To me, it's a bit trendless in a sense, because it's just sort of sitting here in a bit of a wedge pattern that's going on. And maybe I need to see how this wedge develops, and if it starts breaking towards the upside after 8 o'clock, I may look for the long opportunities to see if this is going to push up further. But as I said, yesterday's data or price action was on very low volumes relatively, but much lower than normal sort of numbers coming through there. So let's say got to sit and wait on this one to see what it's actually going to do there. I'm not going to trust any breakout before 8 o'clock on this. Okay, look at the pound dollar. Again, decent update into the daily 50, 8 moving average, 4 hourly 50. It's pulled back a little bit at the moment. Again, it's put sort of a higher low in through this wedge, and from what was previously sort of quite a bearish move. So it's perhaps a couple of days leading into this yesterday was suggesting a bit of a turnaround, but it was just probably quite light days, and yesterday again light volumes, but we've seen a bit of a shift towards the upside here, and really sitting at the moment, sitting just above its weekly pivot, daily pivot, and again could push up for yesterday's highs, maybe pushing even further towards the 143.17 sort of area. So it's got some potential. Let me just have a look else the side of yesterday's, and we'll see we're pretty clear of moving averages. Managed to yesterday's really shifted lots of key moving averages out of the way, so cable could push on. Looking at the dollar yen, then we've been seeing this sort of shove upwards, selling of the yen here, and it's been pushing. Sorry, selling of the yen. Yep, it's been pushing upwards back towards that 114 area. I'm just looking at it. I mean, it's certainly trending well up here. High lows, higher highs. Already caught a daily pivot. The R1 double tops here. Maybe it'll roll. It certainly isn't a pair I've been really that keen on of late, because of its large periods of out trading time when it doesn't do much at all. So can't do too much for that at the moment. If there is a potential it could break up and push up higher towards its R2 at some point. And this trend, you'd only want to be on the long side of it with this trend at the moment. Okay, looking then at the Aussie dollar. Again, decent sized move yesterday back into, again, you've got this upper bands, 8 moving average, 4 hour 50, same old story. It's reacted off this 4 hourly 50 quite strongly, selling off here, already hit the R1, may come back down towards that daily pivot. It's so close to it now, but I don't particularly like what it's doing here either. It's probably going to be one of those days I sit back for a while and see what actually pushes through there. And the Canadian dollar, actually, before I do that, let's just have a look at what oil's doing. Let's just see what oil's doing. Okay, so oil's been okay. pretty much flatter yesterday. Again, it went up to the bands, and well, at the moment we're selling off on the oil somewhat. Let's go back to Canadian dollar. So the move yesterday back up to the bands on the oil, which brought the Canadian dollar down. But we're starting to move back a little bit, just back above the daily, weekly pivot at the moment, and almost within touching distance of the daily. Again, it's messed things up a little bit to where price was and what to look for here at the moment. Maybe if you once the daily pivot's out of the way and if it starts breaking down again, I would look for possibly selling on the break of the lows there. Or be waiting for a signal on the break of lows, I should say. It may just want to come back and retest that 50. Hasn't tested it since it's broken through. It tried to, but that may be a draw if it does push on through the daily pivot. I really want to see it bullish, going north of that to get long on it, and I'd look for perhaps yesterday's highs at some point. If it goes up in that direction, but at the moment it's put the lower highs in, and to me it's certainly a sort of initial lower high up to the up the top here, and then it's put another lower high in here. So my preference is to the downside at the moment on this. Okay, that's pretty much it. News-wise today, we have got some speakers later on. Got the Fed Yellen speaking at 17:20. The side of that, there's not a massive amount of data coming out or anything that's, or I don't know, say a massive amount. It's just nothing that really that generates much in the way of movement. The house price index coming out later on in the US, which is not really much of a driver. And we've got, I don't know, I've got the Bank of England FPC minutes coming out this morning. I'm not too sure if that's anything. No, it's nothing. Right, yep, nothing of real significance until the speakers start happening. There are a couple of Fed speakers speaking. There's due another one at 10:15 where Fed Williams is speaking. Voting member is joining at Williams speaking in Singapore. So we have got some speakers that might create a bit of movement. Aside of that, nothing much for us today. Okay, have a great one. I'll speak to you later. Bye for now.